All right, welcome back, True Seeker. Live here with Jonathan, and there's a lot of interesting things going on with the DMX, OD news in the vegetative state, and then the death 7 days later.
Oh, by the way,
So
just real quick before you start, what channel are we on so I could make an announcement here? Is it sports or 22?
I think we're on Gematria Effect Sports.
We're on
Yeah,
sports. Okay. All
yeah.
right.
So Jonathan's getting out to his social media that we're streaming live about the passing of DMX. But again, the report is that he overdosed April 2nd, 4/2, Good Friday at 11 p.m. And then all day it was the news on 4/3/21, April 3rd, 21. DMX, a lot of people heard of him the first time on LL Cool J's song 4/3/21, where LL Cool J says he's the greatest of all time to close out the song. But if you missed the video we did on that last week, check out the video on the LL Cool J connection. I mean, it's really important. This is additional research on top of that. Again, we're exposing these rituals that are taking place numerically in the world of entertainment. That phrase, your numbers up, it has to do with what we're talking about. Like how in Gematria, Dark Man X is 49. That's what DMX stands for. And here we are on April 9th. Well, we have a lot more to say about that with the additional research. And so again, anyway, if you're new here, we're going to talk about Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. You can pause the video and you can look up the song Gematria, the killing name. The word Gematria and killing, they both equal 38. The member of the band who did that song died at age 38, not by accident, not arbitrarily. These are familiar patterns in the world of entertainment. But anyway, we'll talk about this knowledge of Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, and how you can clearly see that DMX's death today has a lot to do with Swizz Beatz, who Jonathan has let me know they grew up together and their music already had a lot of overlap and connections and songs together. But Swizz Beatz has this song or this show called Versus, and DMX did it July 22nd, 2020 with Snoop Dogg. We're going to show you just how nasty this ritual is. And for all you young people, realize DMX in his lyrics, he often admitted to selling his soul for fame. Snoop Dogg, he also did the song Murder by Numbers with the music video, talking about selling his soul to Satan so that he can have the lavish life that he has had. And again, there's been several deaths around Snoop Dogg in the time he's been rich and famous and well known. And again, DMX, probably the first mainstream track out there with DMX was actually even just before 4/3/21 by a couple months on Mace's album, Mesa Bad Boy Records, 24 Hours to Live, which came out in 97, meaning this year will be the 24-year anniversary of that song, 24 Hours to Live. DMX's verse about, he knows where he's going, he's living with the curse, and he wanted to live forever, but that wasn't fame. And just many lyrical references from DMX in his music and the movie Belly about selling his soul to the devil for fame. So we're going to get into all that tonight. Jonathan's got a lot of good research. Before I let Jonathan take the floor, I'm just going to go through the real quick research for those who don't have a lot of time, just to listen and see just how messed up this is. I think this is even more obvious than Kobe Bryant's death. And for those of you who weren't around here for Kobe Bryant's death, again, I'll retouch on that. But here we go. DMX is dead April 9th, 4/9, and Dark Man X in Gematria is 49. He reportedly overdosed 7 days earlier on Good Friday at 11 p.m., 4/2, and Good Friday's 49. And the square root of 49 is, of course, 7. And you might think of Tupac and his death and the Machiavelli album, The 7-Day Theory, shows him on the cross. Tupac died September 13th. We'll get to Swizz Beatz. His birthday is September 13th. He turned 18 the day Tupac died. He was born in 1978. But 4/9, April 9th, Dark Man X 49, Good Friday 49. And the versus battle was Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg's 49 years old right now. The name Snoop Dogg equals 49. Swizz Beatz equals 49. And again, Swizz Beatz set up the versus show where it was DMX versus Snoop Dogg. And that was on July 22nd last year. So 22/7, like 227, the 49th prime number. And now on 4/9, Dark Man X after the Good Friday ritual, which has everything to do with Jesus and the crucifixion. And if you've ever listened to Jonathan and I before, we're often talking about the Jesuits or the Society of Jesus, how they do these rituals with rappers in tribute to the death and crucifixion of Jesus. And over Easter weekend, it was DMX, easily one of the most famous rappers to ever walk the earth, without a doubt. I mean, super famous man. And by the way, Darrell called me from Houston and said, first of all, I need a shout out. Second of all, remind people that DMX, his first 5 albums all went to #1, and that's unheard of with any other rapper. Nobody else has ever touched that. 5 albums straight to #1, DMX. And again, he wanted to live forever, but that wasn't fame. But maybe, doing whatever you got to do it. And based on what DMX has rapped about, and it sounds authentic, it's like, man, what has this man done in his life? Listen to his song, Damien, about how he essentially makes the deal. Jonathan's going to get to all this, but Damien, I listened to that today. I remember that song when I was younger because, man, this song is messed up. DMX had some messed up songs for people who don't know his music. It was like he wasn't advocating to do things, but he told stories, and even from his own perspective, as if it was him, and maybe it was him at some point in his life. But again, for people who don't know about DMX, he went to Christ. He changed probably around the same time that he was making his music. I mean, he's always been spiritually conflicted, but that song Damien's about selling your soul, and eventually Damien's having him, Damien's having him kill people to be rich and famous, and then eventually it gets to the point where he's having to kill, people really close to him and his best friends to appease Damien to maintain the lifestyle, or he could be next. And again, I mean, you just see how ritualistic it is in this industry. So look at this. Look at all the more with the 49 on this. Oh, by the way, he died in White Plains, New York, which is 94, the reflection, right? Part of the world writes the date 9449. We'll come back to the Jesuit thing, but hold on. Oh, by the way, DMX is dead on his 113th day of his age. Overdose is 113. We'll get to that at age 50. We'll come back over some of these things that I'm scrolling through on the screen. But here's what I want you to see. Again, Swizz Beatz, who he grew up with, who he made music with, who he was just on his show Versus. Swizz Beatz, his birthday is September 13th, 78. Again, Tupac died on September 13th, 96. And by the way, Tupac Shakur equals 139. Dead on 13/9. But anyway, from the death to Swizz Beatz' upcoming 43rd birthday is 157 days. He's 42 right now, like DMX overdosed on 4/2. And we know how they code 42 on Black History. Again, if you missed my interview with Shaba of the Panther 21, one of the Black Panthers who was indicted on April 2nd in 69 wrongfully, made to live in prison for 2.5 years for bogus charges as part of a political stunt. It was nice to hear a story because he was a young man when he signed up, and he got involved with the Panthers because he thought it was really power to the people, bring people the resources, the help so that they can become successful individuals. And that's what he got into it for. And then he said it got roped in with all this other stuff and these bogus accusations to make it look like all these people who are really trying to just help out communities, again, ends up in prison, ends up as part of a political stunt to scar the minds of the masses with these false stereotypes and these cooked up narratives that the authoritarians push because they don't like anyone that, in any way jeopardizes their control over humanity, which they also have with these entertainers like DMX, who they use to tell truths and perform rituals in front of us that were, maybe to clue us in, but kind of also a mocking because they know we don't have the knowledge to understand what we're seeing. But look at this. Swizz Beatz, again, dead 157 days before his birthday. Swizz Beatz, 157 in the most simple cipher. That's the way you calculate that is A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, up to Z, the 26 letters, 26. So it'd be like S is the 19th letter, plus W, the 23rd letter, plus I, the 9th, plus Z, the 26th. You just add it up. 157. Remember, Kobe Bryant's 157. He died on his 157th day of his age. And the All-Star game was right after that, dedicated to Kobe, where the first team to score 157 was the winner. They didn't play with the shot clock. They played the first team to 157 in tribute to Kobe. I mean, come on. After he dies on his 157th day of his age and his name in Gematria is 157. So with the alphabetic order and rules of numerology, Swizz Beatz goes from 157 to 49. 49, right? 49. What day is this huge ritual happening? April 9th, 4-9. DMX was on his show against Snoop Dogg, who's now 49, whose name equals 49 like Swizz Beatz, on 227, like 22/7, like 227, the 49th prime. And then you see how Swizz Beatz is 113 and 50. We just saw that DMX died on his 113th day of being 50 years old. Overdose is 113. Drug is 50. You see? Swizz Beatz got all the numbers in his name. That's just like how it was with Kobe. Kobe was 41 in the most pure cipher, 157, dead at 41 on his 157th day of his age. Kobe Bryant was also 113. 113 days after his birthday, he was in the news for helping out with a car accident in LA. And then the other number is 58, which ties in with the real King James, like how LeBron King James passed Kobe in points scored the night before his death. And LeBron passed him in Philly, Kobe's hometown. Again, I encourage anyone to go out and read this book. I think you can get it on that horrible, huge empire of a store that started out selling books, but you can get this book for a few dollars. The Sacred Magic of the Kabbalah. The Sacred Magic of the Kabbalah by Manly P. Hall. He talks about how the number 4 is related with death. And if you recall, when Kobe died, the first thing I explained is LeBron pushed him down to 4th in points scored. 4 is associated with death to the occultists. And then what do you know? He dies the next day. I mean, while LeBron's playing for the Lakers, it was just such an obvious ritual. And in Philly, Kobe's hometown that has a biblical name, and King James equals, well, King James died at age 58, and he was a Freemason and a Rosicrucian, and Freemasonry and Rosicrucian's 58. But again, Kobe Bryant's 58, 113. Let me put
this is mind-blowing with this Swizz Beatz part, though, because this goes to show you it's all about him.
It has a ton. Well, okay. The vegetative state news on 4321 was totally a ritual with LL, right? Because LL Cool J is 79 and Vegetables 79, and it was 79 days after LL Cool J's birthday on 4/3 when Goat's 43, and he has channel 43 on Sirius XM, and it's all these Goat rituals in 2021, like Brady winning the Super Bowl at 43 with Tampa Bay, which is also 79, and again, that 4-3-2-1 song, LL Cool J closes it out with GOAT, greatest of all time. You know, it's the GOAT song, and now, you know.
And remember, LL Cool J has the GOAT album. He has an album called GOAT.
Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that, but that makes sense to me. I got to look that up. I got to see when that came out.
He has an album called GOAT.
We figure out his expiration date.
We talked about it the last time we went live when I was talking about all those GOAT groups. And I was telling you that there's all these groups called, there's a group called the Mountain Goats. There's a bunch of groups with the name called GOAT in it, and they're recent. And LL Cool J has an album called GOAT. LL Cool J, whoever came up with that term, I guess he gets the credit for it. It wasn't him who came up with the term, but somebody close to him came up with the name, and they named that album. And so GOAT. That was the first time you ever really heard it from LL Cool J's album, which of course stands for greatest of all time. And then remember I showed you that album called GOAT in Human Form,
right,
by Rilo Rodriguez.
Right. Yeah, I do remember that with looking in the mirror and yep. Jonathan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You can hear me?
Yeah, I remember the album, the rapper's looking in the mirror and it's like his reflection's got to go.
Yeah, his reflection's got to go, right. And he's given the GOAT syrup, and there's a couple of versions of the album cover. But this is just mind-blowing. That part, I didn't realize that part about Swizz Beatz, because
there's even more. Watch this, man. Watch how messed up all this is. It's crazy, but it just all comes together, man. It's like we grew up at the right time to really understand this as adults. And but look at this, man. Okay, so again, Swizz Beatz. DMX is dead 157 days from his birthday on 4/9, and DMX died on his 113th day of his age at age 50. Overdose 113, drug 50. And again, just all 4 of the base ciphers. This is how it is. This is the same ciphers we look at for people who are new here. We always look at the same thing. These 4 ciphers, the alphabetic order forwards and backwards, and the alphabetic order forwards and backwards with the rules of numerology. And when you just pay attention to this, you just see how they do these rituals. I mean, the odds of this to continue to line up like this, it's just improbable. It's improbable. But look at this. So shout out to all the people who left these comments, because this work is really from the community sharing this information. BK's loved one also said "Slippin'," one of DMX's hit songs, equals 94, which it does. And it's kind of like slipping on your, your problems. So the always the story in the mainstream with DMX was that he suffered with drug abuse. And it was a few years back after the Super Bowl where I think we found out that he was like found in his car, passed out in a parking lot or something. And I remember then I said, man, it doesn't sound good for DMX. He probably doesn't have too many years left. It's probably 4 years later from that story. To go back and see what age he was when they did.
Yeah. But that's I remember that story like yesterday. But that slipping and equaling 94, that's key, because I got a bunch of 94s too. I could add that. Yeah. But yeah, I remember that when they found him passed out. Yeah. DMX had been going through a lot of shit, but he also had an enormous amount of success.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, hey, that reminds me, his second album where he's drenched in blood, there's a DJ Vlad interview where I think he's got, I don't know if it's Hype Williams or who's there, but he says that was goat blood, real goat blood that he drenched himself in.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I watched the video, so I mean, it's that guy's word for it, but he's saying that was goat blood. That's how he got covered like that. But hold on, let me just give people these visuals and then I'm passing the mic to you. Okay.
Well, and then DMX is considered one of the GOATs.
You could very much say that. Yeah. A lot of people would probably agree with that statement. Hold on. Let me finish this last thing and then I'm passing it back. So, okay. DMX died on his 113th day of his age, but you can also say he died 112 days after his birthday. And notice how Snoop Dogg's 112 with the alphabetic order, 49 with the alphabetic order and rules numerology. And again, these are the 2 ciphers we've always looked at from the very beginning. This is what I learned in Manly P. Hall's The Secret Teachings of All Ages. But notice, again, Snoop Dogg is who DMX is against in the verses on Swizz Beatz show. And again, it was 22/7, July 22nd, like 227, the 49th prime. And from the day they did it, July 22nd, 20, by the way, 7 plus 22 plus 20 had 49 date numerology. But from that day to the death is a span of 262 days. Faustian bargain is 262, and that's the terminology for a deal with the devil, which DMX said plenty of times in his lyrics is exactly what he did. And he said he sold his soul for cheap. And we've been commenting that, there was that rapper, I already forget what his name was. He has some strange name, and he did some song for some soda company in Detroit, and people said Insane Clown Posse's with that soda company too. But he died something Dogg, 6 Dogs or something. I don't know if you saw when I covered
6
that.
Dogs, yeah. The rapper from Atlanta, yep.
But then they mentioned how like his net worth was like 100,000. And I was like, man, are they trying to rub in our faces that this young person like sold his soul for 100 grand? Because really that's jack shit. Why even mention that in the article about his death? It's like, how often do you read about a story of somebody's death and it mentions in the article their net worth? I mean,
right.
And especially for a young rapper, it was just like, God, these people are fucking sick, man. But Faustian bargains to deal with the devil. Snoop Dogg and murder was the case. For people who never watched the music video, just type in music video, murder was the case, Snoop Dogg, just watch it. You won't miss exactly what I need you to see. If I remember right, Snoop Dogg's like in a hospital room and Satan comes into the room and, something about, whatever. So, so look up that song and you'll see Snoop Dogg telling you the same thing. He did the deal with the devil. He's got no more problems. Life is grand. And again, these 2 guys in the verses, now DMX perfectly, his death synced up perfectly with this date. And again, like I called out LL Cool J, I mean, Snoop Dogg, I mean, I don't think Snoop Dogg's ever referred to himself as the greatest of all time. He's not that arrogant, is he?
I don't think he's ever called himself that, no.
Just LL Cool J said that. Maybe some other rappers have said similar statements.
Yeah, but, Eminem, he's got a song called GOAT.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm sure there's a few ones out there. And Eminem's been used like a real puppet, especially at age 47. But what I noticed about Snoop Dogg's birthday, from his birthday, which he has the same birthday as Kamala Harris, which is interesting. He's 49 right now. from his birthday to the death is 172 days, and that's a big number with the Jesuits. Their motto ad Merum de Gloriam is 172, and there's historians that say the Jesuits say that phrase. It means for the greater glory of God, but they say it when they do their evil deeds. And the Jesuits have a ethics that's like they can do horrible things if they think ultimately it makes the world a better place. And but that's the thing that supposedly they say when they're killing people, ad Merum de Gloriam. Kind of like how on TV they programmed you all your life to think that Muslims say, you know, God is great, Allahu Akbar, as they blow themselves up or stab somebody. I mean, how many times have you read that headline? Terrorist says Allahu Akbar. It's like the same thing, really, but it's the Jesuits who are doing this and blaming other people. But yeah, so anyway, Darkman X, DMX, sadly out by the numbers. And I bet you if we could survey DMX and talk to him, I bet you he would say maybe he lived longer than he thought he would actually live based on just what he was saying, you know, back in 97. I mean, he sounded like back then he knew he could go any day. So I'm going to pass it to Jonathan. I went way longer than I meant to. There's even more information, but Jonathan's got some good stuff here. So take it away, man.
Yeah, that was interesting. That right there, you just proved to me that Swizz Beatz had a lot to do with this sacrifice, and he's getting a lot of success with this versus thing. They got endorsements from Ciroc, Apple Music, you know. So now, who's ever participated on versus is considered a shareholder. So they just made some kind of mega deal. So Swizz and DMX, they grew up together.
What channel is Versus on?
It's on Instagram.
Oh, it's an online thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now you can watch it on Thriller and Apple Music because it's blown up. It started with Instagram. How it started was it was Swizz and Timberland. They came up with it, right? They wanted to battle each other. They wanted to battle each other's catalog, and it was during the I think it might have been like around the time of the lockdown, and so they just battled each other's catalogs live on Instagram, and that's how it started. And then ever since then, you know, it's been going. They've been having different people on there. Just recently, they had Earth, Wind, and Fire versus the Isley Brothers.
Interesting. Okay, I've heard a lot about it, but I've never watched one, so I'm gonna have to check it out.
But I mean, it's just amazing. Like the Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Isley Brothers, they made some incredible music. Like to me, like those are the two best groups of all time.
Well, that's why they're most sampled. Isley Brothers are the most sampled ever in hip hop music. I think a lot of songs are cut up from the stuff they put out there. Yeah, they were. I mean, for people who never listen to the Isley Brothers, you better check them out. You'll be like, what year are they from? Man, they were way ahead of their time.
Oh yeah, Earth, Wind, and Fire. I mean, these groups were incredible. Like, and I know that's a big statement, but I listened to all different types of music, right? And Earth, Wind, and Fire, the Isley Brothers. And I was telling my mom this, and my mom said that the first concert she ever went to was Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay.
And then I was telling her, you know, I could see like why people who listen to that kind of music, Marvin Gaye, Sam Cooke, Aretha Franklin, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Isley Brothers, Stevie Wonder. I could see how people who listen to that kind of music, when hip hop came around, they were like, "Oh, this is trash."
It's the energy, man.
You know what I mean? Like I can see why, because it was like, wow, like, you know, like how can you even, you know, it's kind of hard to like compare I love hip hop, and I'm not like what's the dude, what's his name? Steve Harvey. He was hosting the Versus show, right? So he was hosting the show between the Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind, and Fire. So he's on there like slick dissing hip hop and shitting on hip hop. I love hip hop, but the music before I was born, it was probably the best music ever made.
Truly. And the thing about that generation of music is it's like vibration. So it's like for example, you know the song Gene Chandler, Duke of Earl?
I
Old song.
yeah. Exactly. Yeah, of course. It
Well, it's old song, but you just listen to it. It's just like simple, but it's like positive music. The music's nice. The
I
lyrics
haven't
are
heard it in such a
simple,
while, long
but
time though.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like so you listen to a song like that, it's like nobody's gonna listen to this song and it's not gonna be bad energy. You know, a lot of people are like a lot the reason and I mean it's all about the times too. It's like times were getting worse, like when we were born and we don't realize it because that's just the way the world's always been. But this hip hop music, when you really think about it, it's like a lot of anger and frustration put into lyrics expressing what's messed up about communities and upbringings and lifestyle. And now like and then if it's not that, then it's like, well, I'm making up for lost time and I'm getting back at the world now that I have all this money and I don't give a fuck about nothing. Fuck this whole world. I mean, that's like a lot
Yeah,
of
but as a poor kid, you can relate to that though.
absolutely. But that's the
Yeah,
thing because exactly because so many people are now living in something somewhat similar enough to that that they can like identify that and be like, that's my attitude too. Plus, apparently, if I'm talking like this is how I'm gonna get famous and make it out there as well. So yeah, man. They just, but then you realize it's just like that's why if you have like Sirius XM, you can tune it over to channel 43, and you know there might be some hip hop song on there that you like, but at the same time, like if you think about like, okay, I like this song, and I'm nodding my head to this song, but like, what is this song really about, and what kind of energy is going through my body? Like, am I like ready more now to like fight somebody and lash out at somebody?
right,
If you're listening to Gene Chandler, Duca, Earl, you're just like
right,
you don't want to fight anybody. You're just like, man, life is good, man. There's some happiness here. You know, it's just
right. It
totally
puts you in a more positive state, right? Versus if you're listening to King Von and he's talking about going to do drills on people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can see that.
exactly. Gene Chandler wasn't Gene Chandler wasn't rapping about killing anybody, raping anybody. I mean, you know, speaking of DMX, to come back to that, when I heard his first album, he has the one song. He has something about a rob. You know, DMX for people never listen to him. Like he'd tell the story of like, listen, I don't rob people because I want to, but I have to. That's his mentality. That's in his lyrics. But he has a story about, I forget what it is. I got to go back and find what song it is and what lyrics, but I just remember something about like doing a burglary. And if you got a daughter in the house, older than 15, he's going to rape her. I mean, that's just right in the lyrics. I was like, damn, man. I mean, like,
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
wow. And his albums is dark and hell is out. Like, okay, he's trying to get a message. I heard these rappers say it's entertainment and storytelling and about their community. But it's like sometimes when DMX tells us, like, man, that seems like who he used to be. But maybe he had a wake up since then, and now he's kind of like expressing what he did wrong now that he realizes and has the opportunity and 5 #1 records. I don't know what's going on here.
yeah. DMX. He was one of the he was one of my favorite rappers. He was one of the realest rappers that I ever seen. Like, and of course we didn't know him personally, right? But you could just tell like you could just tell he was a genuine person.
That's how it seemed. I mean, he seemed real authentic. I talked to Darrell today because Darrell used to work at Magic 102 down in Houston, and they had a lot of rappers coming through the studio back in the day when Stevie Franchise was the star of the Rockets with Tino Mobley. He said they used to always hang out in the studio, so he's always telling me these stories. But I asked him what kind of feel he got about DMX, and he said, "Well, the one thing I can tell you is like when the cameras weren't rolling and he wasn't being interviewed." He was more relaxed as a person, but he got the vibe that he was authentic. But he said he kind of felt like when the cameras came on, he was like more like amped up, more energy than what like he would be off camera. And he said he got to see that just how many. He said like some people are just like they don't really seem to change. He said, well, it's not like he was saying DMX was way different, but he just said he was a lot more chill, just like a lot less energy.
Yeah.
Just like hang out in the studio between the commercial breaks. So. Anyway, I suppose that's how, and I imagine when these guys sell their soul, they're probably told that, carry yourself this way. This is your story. This is what you're about. This is, it's got to be something like that, man.
Right. Like they get almost like they get a storyline, like how they made like Nipsey Hussle, like he's supposed to be like, this big time activist in LA. And he did all these things for people in LA, and he opened up a store in the hood. And and you're right, it's almost like you can't really say nothing bad about Nipsey Hussle. Like what can you you never really heard a bad story, a negative story about Nipsey. Like, you know what I mean? Like, of course, he rapped about violence and killing and shit and drug dealing, but as a person, like he actually like did shit for his hood, you know, and it's almost like these
John,
people, yeah.
yeah, I'm sorry. I just saw somebody leave a comment in the chat. Did you know that Black Rob is hospitalized right now?
Oh no, I didn't realize that.
And I see this video. Black Rob speaks on DMX death from hospital bed. He looks super sickly. But it's just like he's on that song too with DMX 24 Hours to Live, which came out in 97. This year's the 24-year anniversary. And you can imagine it was probably recorded probably, right around now, if not even earlier than that. So
Oh wow.
I
Huh.
wonder who else is on that song. The Locks is on there, Black Rob,
The Locks.
DMX, Mace himself. So Puff Daddy's probably talking on there somewhere like he likes to do on every song.
Right. Right.
Oh man.
But what I couldn't understand, like, about Black Rob is or DMX too, like, is all these stories about like there was a story about DMX trying to steal a car, or Black Rob. There was a story about Black Rob stole some jewelry from a hotel, and to me, it's like, why are these rappers doing all this stealing when they're supposed to be signed to these major labels, and they're rapping about having all this money? So something always seems odd about that. Like, that's what I remember about Black Rob when he got caught stealing some jewelry in this hotel, and then the media made a big deal about it.
Yeah. And again, we just see how the contracts they do. We see how their rituals and numbers. I mean, they tell us things like when LeBron signed on July 1st, it gave us the extra confidence that he'd win the finals in his 17th season for the Lakers getting their 17 championships. He came over on 1-7 from the 17th state, but then he even had the $153 million contract, the 17th triangular. And it's like, is that even real? Does LeBron really get that kind of money? Or is it that these guys, they get better money than most people, but they also get the fame? And that's what people, I mean, that's really, I bet you could survey, most guys and say, okay, you can have all the money or you can have the fame like this person and all that comes with it, which means all the women and everything else. I think most people would realize, like, I will take that fame because that is exactly what I want. So, and again, still have a decent amount of money too. But yeah, I have a feeling we're lied to, and I feel like it's all part of the game because everybody's living the American dream, like that you want to be a millionaire, you want to be real good at basketball, rapping, you're going to be the next multimillionaire doing these things. It's like it's kind of an illusion because you learn a lot of these people are like from families and related to somebody, or they sold their soul to get where they are. It's like I don't know, man. Unless you're like that one in a 10 million that gets asked to even be in the position to sell your soul to have it. I mean, it's probably not going to happen. And if you are, do you really want to sell your soul? I mean, I think a lot of people sadly would say, yeah, if you get to be DMX, but that's not right, man. And I think DMX, if he could tell you, he'd probably say, if I could do it, well, I don't know, man. I won't speak for him, but I imagine he would say, like, I probably wouldn't do it over again, but who knows?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna start reading this. You could just cut me off whenever you want.
Oh, no, you're right, man. I'm talking too much. Go ahead.
So this would have been like the perfect. Well, I mean, this would have been a good way to end the book with this, with the final death being DMX. But of course, that's not gonna happen.
That's how it is too. I remember I was trying to finish my first book, Big Things Keep Happening. I was like, man, I feel like this got to be in there.
Well, according to what I found out, there were over 200 rappers that died last year. So that's an average of every 44 hours is a dead rapper. That's an average of every 44 hours for 2020. Now, I haven't even gotten to 2021. The only deaths that I've covered in 2021 are the big ones. Like this, of course, this is the biggest one. And there was also another pretty big one. Oh, Catchy the Great, the rapper from LA. But
Oh, right. Yeah, it was like what was it? A hit and run? What they say he died from again?
they said he got hit by a random car
Yeah,
walking down the street, walking down the highway.
right.
So, okay, so DMX was one of the biggest rap stars / actors in the world. He was pronounced dead on 4/9/2021.
Jonathan, I'm sorry, man. It made me think of how he's in Romeo Must Die, DMX, and we just got the death of the 38-year-old child singer from Romeo and Juliet or something. I bet you all that shit's connected too. We're gonna have to look more into his family.
Oh, wait till I get to all the names of the movies that DMX has been in.
Okay.
Okay, so a lot of this you already know. He was pronounced dead on 4/9/2021. Dart Man X equals 49. He reportedly overdosed on Good Friday. Good Friday equals 49. He has a song called Angel featuring Regina Bell. Regina Bell equals 49 and 59. He has a song called Coming From featuring Mary J. Blige. Coming From equals 49 and 59. He's dead in White Plains, New York. A date that can be written 49 or 94, like 49 and 94. Now, keep in mind these numbers, 49 and 7. I'm going to talk about that number a lot too. The square root of 49 is 7. So just keep that in mind. He died 7 days after his alleged overdose, April 2nd, 2021. He has an album on 7 Arts Music, keyword 7. He has an album called 7 Arts Music titled Redemption of the Beast. Redemption of the Beast equals 94 in the pure cipher. On this album, he has an album called 56 Bars. So keep in mind.
Hold on. Do you know what day Redemption of the Beast came out?
I didn't check that.
January 13th, 113, like overdose 113, like he's dead on his 113th day of his age.
I'm going to add that.
Yeah.
I have to add that when I listen to the replay.
Yeah, crazy. These numbers were on the Busta Rhymes album too. We got to go back and put, man, all this stuff, man. It is crazy.
Yeah, but we did the Busta Rhymes video on the channel that got deleted. So I don't know how much. I didn't get a chance to make a copy of it.
Man, that's why the censorship is so damn annoying.
It's just bullshit. Yeah. All right. So Redemption of the Beast equals 94. And keep in mind, I'm going to be talking about the same numbers we always talk about. Ain't nothing new about this. 56, 94, same old numbers, right? So here we go. He has a song called 56 Bars on this album. Swizz Beatz.
56?
5'6", yeah. 5'6".
Man.
Yeah, on that same album, Redemption of the Beast. Okay, so Swizz Beatz equals 49. DMX also has an album called Grand Champ. Grand Champ equals 49 and 50. He's dead at 50 years old. He was one of the biggest rappers in America. America equals 50 and 49. He has a song called Goodbye. The song is 4 minutes and 49 seconds long. Keyword 49. Swizz is a producer that produced a lot of X's songs. Swizz was also a member of the Rough Riders crew, just like DMX was. Rough Riders equals 59 in the pure cipher. Swizz produced Rough Riders Anthem. This is DMX's biggest song. Now here's the killer right here, right? You still with me, right?
I got to comment since you just brought that up.
Okay.
I in the time I've been working and researching, I've been listening to DMX interviews. Somebody asked him about a certain song and it's Rough Riders Anthem. I can tell I understood why he answered the way he did. He was like, man, that song's so simple. And he's like, I wrote that song in a night with 2 other songs. The song wasn't nothing. But I can tell he's annoyed because that's like one of the most known songs he's known for. And you think about it, he has all these songs with like much deeper lyrical content, meaning he probably wants more people to talk about those songs. He's like, oh, you guys are talking about Rough Rider Anthem. And I'd feel the same way. Like if people are like, this is Zach's best video. Sometimes people will leave a comment, they'll be like, this is your best video ever. And I'm like, you don't know how insulting that is to me, man. I appreciate the compliment, but I've done so many much better videos than this, man. It's just like, it's better not be the best video to people. Oh my God. So.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. So that's his number one song is Rough Riders Anthem. So here's the kicker. This is what seals it right here. Rough Riders Anthem equals 201.
Perfect.
In English ordinal.
Yeah, perfect, man. I might note that right up here.
Yeah, it's like kind of like the Jesuit anthem.
We got to go back and look at Theodore Roosevelt because that's where the whole Rough Riders thing comes from. There's probably a riddle right there with that. Yeah, Rough Riders. It's 20. Look at it, man. It's 201 and it's 84 like the Jesuit order. It's 87 like Catholic Church. 231 is the 21st triangular number, and he's dead in 21. That's like how Jesuit Georgetown was established January 23rd, 23/1. So yeah, and again, he's dead on the day, leaving 266 days left in the year as well. And the Jesuit motto, "Isus Hominum Salvator," is 266, and we're in the time of the first Jesuit Pope, the 266th. So
and Swizz Beatz produced the beat. Swizz Beatz produced this beat.
Oh, for the Rough Riders Anthem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now check this out, right? From the day the other X died, X Tentacion equals 56, by the way, in the pure cipher. So same numbers, right? 201, 56. These are the numbers I'm talking about. Same numbers.
Crazy.
Yeah. So from the day X Tentacion died until the day DMX died is 1,026 days, including the end date. So if you drop the 0 in the middle, it's like 126. Kobe Bryant died on 1/26. And keep in mind, like when I'm on this chapter that I'm writing, a lot of these murders of these rappers are tied into Kobe. Not everyone, but a lot of them are. So
Benji Kobe was the most obvious.
Right. And check this out. From the day X Tentacion died until the day DMX died is 33 months and 22 days later. 33 months and 22 days later. 11 is the master number, 22 is the master builder number, and 33 is 11 times 3, which makes 33 3 times as powerful as the number 11. So their nicknames was X. Each of these rappers' nicknames was X. So 33 months and 22 days apart.
Huh, crazy.
Now, DMX has a song called Number 11. He has an album called And Then There Was X. This album dropped on 12/21/1999. When you add 12 plus 31, it equals 33. He's from New York. New York equals 33. Bible 33. God's Son 33. 12/29/99 has a date numerology of 151 and 61. Extentacion equals 151 and 61. So I didn't know that this was going to tie into the other X like this. I was just
and yeah. Today is Lil Nas X's birthday. Lil Nas X, Dark.
Oh, no, there's a third X. There's a third X.
That, you guys, that's what I forgot to tell. Today is Lil Nas X's birthday, the rapper who just did the 666 shoes. That's how messed up this is. Look at this.
I didn't even realize.
He turned 22 today.
22, the same number I just said. I'm talking about the same number right now.
Yeah.
33 and 22 days later. 33 months and they're dead separate each other. 33 months and 22 days. X, the first X de Tentacion. Now
You know
we
who
got
better watch out? You know who better watch
DMX dead.
is Nas, because Lil Nas X, Nas, and DMX, the big stars of Belly.
You know who needs to watch out? Exhibit.
Yeah,
His,
that's a good one.
His nickname is X.
Okay, yeah, X to the Z. I remember. Yeah. Well, what happened to him? He had the show with the cars on MTV, and then he just seemed to vanish from the world. So
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I ain't heard from him in a minute.
yeah.
Wow, today's Lil Nas X's birthday. This is
It's messed up how they do this, man. DMX, Darkman X, dead on.
Oh, and I bet you Nas is 48. Like Earl Simmons is 48. I bet you Nas is 48 years old. Is he?
He's gonna turn 48 this year. He's in his 48th year of life. He'll turn 48 September 14th.
Yeah, and Earl Simmons, which is DMX's real name, equals 48, and Illuminati equals 48.
Yeah.
And
Nas is 47, if I'm not mistaken, and he's 47 right now while this happens. And times 47, just so many rituals with that.
And they're in that, and he's in that big movie. He's the co-star with DMX and Belly.
That's why I'm saying Lil Nas X, Nas. It just reminds me. I have to see if there's any clues in his music. Man, it's just unbelievable, man. Lil Nas X birthday, Darkman X.
Right, and think about how sick that is in another way, because DMX, he was he was the dog. He was an alpha rapper, right? He was an alpha male, and think about it. It's Lil Nas X's birthday, and he promoting all this gay shit.
Yeah, man. Talk about flipping the script.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look how sick that DMX. Everybody know DMX was an alpha male. Everything, you know what I mean? Like
he even knew how to bark.
But at the same time, he seemed like he was very spiritual, because he already knew he sold his soul to the devil. So it's almost like on his album, he was like trying to tell God that he was sorry. Like a lot of his music, it was like letting God know that, asking God for forgiveness, because he already know he sold his soul to the devil. So he's like asking God for forgiveness. Forgive me. This is what I did. Shit. I was, the way he's explaining it, right? He was like, shit, I came from nothing. I had nothing. Even on the song Damien, he says it. He says, shit, who wouldn't take this deal? Who wouldn't take this deal with the devil when I don't got shit? But then when you listen to his music, a lot of his songs, it's like telling God, like, I'm sorry, I signed my soul. It's almost like he knows he's gonna die sooner than later, and he wants God to forgive him, when he goes to the afterlife.
And for anyone who doubts what we're saying, again, he's dead on Lil Nas X's birthday, who just made all the headlines with his 666 shoes with human blood in the soles and the Luke 10:18. And man, that I'm so grateful that he did that, because it just brought together what I'd been missing the whole time, talking about Claydex and Event 201. Because again, Event 201 was on 10:18, like his sneakers were priced at 10:18. And Claydex was 666 days before the pandemic. Now I see why they did that on October 18, 10:18, because that's the verse in the Bible, Luke 10:18, where Satan comes to earth. And you just think about Busta Rhymes with his Extinction Level event and just all this shit that's going on, man. It's crazy how dark it got. It's just like, okay, I think everybody knew that hip hop, like, they like it for a lot of different reasons, but they know a lot of times the energy is kind of dark, but man, it's just getting way darker. So.
Oh, and I'm gonna tie it in with Public Enemy and everything.
Okay.
All right. So, DMX implemented a lot of God, Jesus, and the Bible in his music. DMX has an album called The Great Depression. The Great Depression equals 91, full reduction. I feel like whenever it's full reduction, I just feel like a lot better about it. I mean, all the ciphers are important, of course, right? But when it's full reduction, to me, it's like it has like that extra meaning. Like,
right, it's the most important one. I agree. It's the most important.
So the Great Depression equals 91, full reduction. Darkness equals 91. Phoenix equals 91. Public Enemy came out with an album titled Apocalypse 91. The Enemy Strikes Black. This album came out on the day, leaving 91 days left in the year. in the year 91. The 7th song on this album is called By the Time I Get to Arizona. 91 is the 13th triangular number. DMX equals 13. DMX once did 7 months in a Maricopa County prison.
Oh, that's Phoenix.
Phoenix is in Maricopa County.
Yeah.
When he was locked up, Joseph Michael Arpaio was the sheriff. Joseph Michael Arpaio equals 94. Full reduction. Same number I've been talking about, 94. So he was the sheriff to correspond with the other 94s and 49s I mentioned earlier. He used to make inmates wear pink, and DMX was one of them. And you could Google
pink underwear. That's what you do. He make you wear pink like underwear, and yeah.
And you went to college in Phoenix, right?
Yeah, he's well known down there, and he's a douche.
Okay. They were clothed in pink jumpsuits and pink underwear. Wait. Yeah. Pink equals 50. Maricopa equals 40 and 50. DMX equals 40. And he's dead at 50. Circle equals 50. America equals 50. At the time of this incident, DMX was 40 years old. He was in and out of jail like a circle. You can think about it like the circle of life. He died 112 days after his 50th birthday. Circle equals 112.
Yeah, it's a perfect ritual. And again, the thing about circle, if you read about witchcraft, the first thing you do in witchcraft is you make a circle and you cast your spells from the circle. And again, it just makes me think about spells and spelling and how all this stuff's mathematical. It's crazy, man. And by the way, again, there's a big news in the royal family and a big musician's dead. Again, on Queen Elizabeth's birthday, Prince died. And now DMX is dead the day that her husband dies. And did you know that today's the 16-year anniversary of his son getting married, Prince Charles?
No, I did not.
Yeah, so Prince Charles, Prince Philip's, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip's child, he was married 16 years ago on this day, April 9th, 2005. What's interesting about that is if you write out King Charles, it's 53 in that most pure cipher, the 16th prime. And when the queen dies, assuming Charles doesn't die before her, he will become the king. And I'm wondering if now that, the husband's passed, wonder how much longer that means the queen has in store. I got to do some more research on it. But yeah, today's the anniversary of his wedding. And that's to his wife after Princess Diana died. And if you saw, I was showing how the parallels between Princess Diana's death and her husband's death. It's just, they do the same stuff over and over, these people, as we know. So.
Huh. And the other 49 was, you said that the CEO of BJ's Wholesale dropped dead today at 49?
Well, he didn't die today, but he supposedly died last night unexpectedly, and he's today's news on 49. So.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, and somebody pointed this out too. Prince Philip is known as Earl of Meredith. Earl of Meredith, and DMX's name is Earl Simmons. So they both have an Earl that they're known by, and they're both dead in the news on the same day. So that is interesting.
And think about the other Earl that's blowing up, E40. Right now, E40 is blowing up with his liquor. He just got a major deal to distribute. He just got a nationwide deal to distribute his liquor. Of course, E40 been blew up in rap. E40 been rapping for over 30 some years, but he's blowing up big in the liquor industry, and he just got a major deal, and his liquor is going to be everywhere. So that's another Earl.
It's funny.
Just to tie that in.
It's funny to think about the early days of hip hop. and just like a lot of messages that were more positive and like pitfalls not to avoid in life. And then just like all these rappers, when they get famous, they're promoting alcohol. It's like, okay, I mean, you can drink and have fun, but there's a lot of people that suffer from alcoholism. It's not exactly building anyone up. It's just everything is so upside down from how it started out was intended to be. It's just crazy, man. So
Seriously. So back to DMX. He did his time in Yuma, Arizona.
okay.
Yuma, Arizona is a perfect match in 3 out of 4 base ciphers with Jesuit order.
Huh.
Yuma, Arizona, 144, 54, 153.
Huh. Crazy. Yeah.
After he did 7 months, keep in mind, I keep talking about the number 7 with DMX, right? After he did 7 months in Yuma, Arizona, he did 7 months, right? The
Right.
following month, he was arrested for speeding in Phoenix, Arizona. He was clocked at 102 miles per hour.
102, man. Yeah, it's just crazy how they do it, man.
Uh,
For people who don't know that, that's just one of these ugly numbers they called on Black History. Slavery's 102. The N-word's 102. Last year, there was the headline about Ahmaud Arbery getting called the N-word by his killers, and that headline came out 102 days after his reported death. It's just that country singer got in trouble for saying the N-word in Nashville. All his music got pulled, and Nashville's 102 town. And again, it's just 102 miles per hour. It's just like Tiger Woods, how they come out and say he crashed at 83 miles per hour when he won the 83rd Masters, and they waited until the day before the Masters to put out the news. It's like, come on, man.
Right. And 83 is the other GOAT's birthday, Tom Brady.
Yeah. Football 83, right? We knew it was all synced up with that. That's a great point. Absolutely. Also, the course name in the most pure cipher for the Masters is 83 as well.
So. But why? Okay. If I get caught speeding, right? Why do you have to put that specific detail in there? Like if I get caught speeding, I just got caught speeding. Exactly. Right? Okay, so he gets caught 102 miles an hour, and check this out. Slavery, the N-word, 102. Mary J. Blige equals 102. And he has a song with Mary J. Blige. FBI equals 102. When DMX was 33 years old in 2004, he was arrested for impersonating an FBI officer. By the way, FBI is 102 in English Sumerian. In 2008, all right, so now we're going to take it to my hometown, okay? In 2008, he was arrested in Miami, Florida. Miami equals 99. 99 is the 13th triangular number. DMX equals 13. He passed away on the 99th day of the year. He was arrested for trying to buy cocaine and weed in an undercover drug bust. Cocaine equals 50 and 40. I've already explained how these two numbers relate to DMX. DMX equals 40. He died at 50. These are just a few of his arrests. He has an extensive rap sheet. Okay, so now when this happened in 2008, right? Now I didn't write this part down, but when this happened in 2008, when he got caught buying some weed and some coke, this happened in my neighborhood. So this happened in Opelika. So it's a part in Opelika called a triangle, right? They call it the triangle because there's only one way in and one way out. And then there's another it's another spot called the Back Blues, right? The Back Blues. So he either got caught in one of those two spots, right? And I remember being in Miami at the time, and people who lived there, the locals, we knew not to go down there because we knew it was hot, right? Because we lived there, we know what's going on, right? We knew it was hot, so we knew not to go down there. So, of course, he don't live in Miami, And these spots are like the only spots that are known for people who don't know anywhere else to go. These are some famous spots. And we knew not to go down there.
Right.
And he went and he fell for the sting. And they didn't just arrest him that day, they arrested like 100 other people. So so that's the thing. So that's the thing about it. It's like DMX, he had massive success. DMX sold over 74 million albums. DMX was a movie star, but he also went through a lot of shit. Now, those arrests that I just talked about, those were just a few of many. Those are just a few of many. So now check this out, right? You already mentioned this. So he was the first rapper to have his first 5 albums debut at #1 on the Billboard Top 200 chart. Now that's unheard of.
You said the first, but has anybody ever done it since?
That's a good question.
I don't think anybody has. I think that's untouched.
That's gonna be who's gonna be able to break that record in hip hop? People can't even sell. People don't even really like buy records the way they used to. You know what I mean? We already talked about this. How we used to go there, buy the CD, and it's nothing like having a physical copy. Now it streams. So how is that gonna? I don't know. I don't see it. Like, but I could tell you one thing: DMX, he rapped a lot about pain, right, and his life. You know, like I'm Slipping. That's one of his biggest songs. I'm Slipping. He rapped a lot about pain. And think about it, like stuff that people can relate to, right? And who's the person who's #1 on the chart right now, who has a #1 album in the country at this very moment, is Rod Wave. And Rod Wave, he raps about pain a lot. And people say I hate on the new music. I don't hate on the new music because I like Rod Wave's new music. I like Rod Wave's new album. Because the thing about Rod Wave and the reason he's #1 on the chart right now is because people can relate to him. People can relate to the pain. You know, people can relate to the struggling. He grew up in St. Petersburg. Like, you know, it's a poor place. In some areas, it's just like any other city. You know, some rich parts, there's some poor parts, right? So that's the thing about it. It's like people can relate to realism. You know, that's why Rod Wave is #1 on the charts right now. And that's the thing about DMX. People felt his pain. You know, I read Scarface book, right? Scarface, the rapper,
Right.
and he said that if you're not crying by the time you finish writing that song, if tears aren't in your eyes, then you ain't wrote the right song.
He got the song "I Never Seen a Man Cry Until I've Seen a Man Die." So
yeah, he says if you're not crying by the time you wrote that song, you ain't wrote the right song. So and what's Scarface music about? Pain, you know. Same thing with Tupac. One of Tupac's biggest song is called Pain.
he's got the song "Smile" too. Scarface and Tupac. Tupac's on the cross in that music video. You're gonna see some things that are gonna make it hard to smile. That was how it started.
So yeah, that like you said, that's untouched. 5 debut albums at #1. I don't see how anybody's gonna break that.
I'm pretty sure at the beginning of Belly, there's some 5 pointed stars when he's talking about he sold his soul to the devil, or like lighting candles. I go back and watch it again.
Okay.
The opening words of that movie is DMX's voice, and he says, "I sold my soul to the devil, and the price was cheap." The very first words in the movie.
Right. But see, a lot of rappers, they rap about money, bitches, and drugs, but they won't give you the other side of it. And that's what I appreciate about Rod Wave's music and DMX's. Right. But so in 1998, hip hop was dominated by Puff Daddy and Bad Boy. DMX brought it back to the streets, and he gave us the emotion that was missing for the last 2 years since Tupac passed in 1996. His first 5 albums sold over 14 million copies. DMX equals 14. End. The word end equals 14. He has 7 studio albums and has sold over 74 million records. Some people say it's 8 studio. I've seen some sources that say he has 8 studio albums, but I've seen others that say 7. So he has songs with Mary J. Blige, Jay-Z, Patti LaBelle, Marilyn Manson, and many more. He has an album called Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood.
And that's where he's covered it. That's where he's covered in Goat Blood, that album.
Okay. Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood equals 118. Homicide equals 118. Death equals 118. He was often compared to Tupac, and Tupac's crew was called the Outlaws. Outlaws equals 118. Tupac died on a date with 118 numerology. On DMX's first album, he has a song called Intro, which is arguably the best intro of all time. The best intro to a hip hop song of all time. And it's called Intro, and it's on his very first album. And he kills it. The word intro equals 59. Just intro equals 59. The song is 4 minutes and 10 seconds. So if you drop the 0, it's like 41. DMX equals 41. King equals 41. He was born in Baltimore. Baltimore equals 41 in the pure cipher. He was the king of hip hop in 1998 and 1999. He dropped 2 multi-platinum albums in 1998, which had never been done before in hip hop. You still with me?
I'm still with you. Yeah, no, I'm listening.
His first album is It's Dark and Hell is Hot equals 83. Murder equals 83. So It's Dark and Hell is Hot equals 83 in full reduction. Murder equals 83. The song Murder by Numbers came out in 83 by the band The Police. He has an album called Undisputed. Undisputed equals 43, 137, and 56.
Huh.
RIP equals 43. Killing is 43. 137 is the 33rd prime number. He died exactly 33 days before the 23-year anniversary of his first album. Society of Jesus equals 56. So I just broke down all those numbers for Undisputed, the 43, the 137, and the 56. DMX died 113 days after his birthday, including the end date from an overdose. Overdose equals 113. The number 113 relates to deception per the Talmud. Bullshit equals 113. Fiction equals 113. Not true, 113. Mainstream, 113. Swizz Beatz, 113. Swizz Beatz also equals 157. DMX died 157 days before Swizz Beatz' birthday.
Huh. Somebody in the chat said they just watched the beginning of Belly, and they said, yeah, there's candles and a 5-pointed star at the beginning, like his 5 #1 albums, which is unprecedented. I mean, that's not something I think many musicians have ever done. That's probably like Michael Jackson type stuff. So
it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest rappers in hip hop never done that. Nas never did that. Jay-Z never did that. Eminem never did that. 50 Cent never did that. Lil Wayne never did that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting, man.
The Swizz Beatz also equals 49 and 113. DMX and Swizz Beatz grew up together. DMX is dead on 4/9 at age 50 on his 113th day of his age.
Yeah.
All numbers that are in Swizz Beatz' name.
By the way, people in the chat are
Oh.
also saying he died from the COVID vaccine. That's another story they put out there that's circulating the news. It's like after the death of Marvin Hagler, they talked about Tommy the Hitman Hearns posted that he just gotten the vaccine right before his death.
Well, let's talk about the vaccine right quick. Let's talk about that.
I don't know. I don't know if we should, man. I might get this channel taken down too. I mean, like, I try not to get the sports channel deleted, man, because they're taking down everything right now. You can't say nothing about nothing, man. It's just such a joke. That's why I started posting on that twitch.tv. I might just jump all the way over there, man.
Oh, wow. Oh, so okay.
Yeah, we might lose the whole video at the rate. I mean, they just took down my main Gematria Effect news channel the other day. You see that? They took down the 80-some thousand subscribers.
Yeah, I know. And
I just took down Gematria Effect News 21. I just started the thing last a month, man. It's just like you can't.
I know. Right now. Yeah, and what's crazy about that is that's where we did that. That's where we had the Busta Rhymes video at. We did we did so much work on that channel. Like, we did a lot of work. We got a lot of videos on that channel that we did together, and it hurts me too. You know, I mean, like.
Yeah, if anybody wants to know what we think about the VAX, man, just go see what I'm telling people on the corner of the street in my community on the megaphone. I've been doing it for like 30 days straight. So,
all right. So, I was gonna say something, but okay. So, but we'll just move on. Belly, which is probably the most famous movie he's been in, equals 56.
And 79, just like Society of Jesus.
Yeah, probably the most famous movie DMX was in. At the end of Belly, he becomes a member of the church. Well, I got to actually change this because I realized that I heard DMX on Mace's album, but I'll just read it how I wrote it. The first time I ever heard of DMX was on the 4321 song.
Well, that's probably where most people heard him because that song was bigger. Unless you listen to the Mace album, I mean, that 4321 was a lot bigger song. I mean, there's a music video for that. Well, actually, now that I think about it, they did a music video for 24 Hours to Live, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
All prisoners on a bus, if I remember right. So,
yeah, but that's when I heard of DMX that on Mace's album.
It's messed up when you just think about how they do it, man. It's like, here's how we're going to market your hip-hop stars. They're all criminals in jumpsuits on a bus getting taken to the pit, and they're rapping about their last 24 hours to live like they're on death row. So,
but I mean, but there's no way that this is a coincidence that one of the very first songs he was on that got him hot is called 4321, and he's overdoses on 4321.
Well, technically, but that was the day the news broke. Right? They supposedly happened at 11 p.m. on 4/2.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
And the news is 4321.
Okay, so this was on LL Cool J's 7th album. Keep in mind, I keep talking about 7. The song 4321 was on LL Cool J's 7th album, and it was named Phenomenon. Phenomenon equals 56, full reduction.
Yeah.
This song came out in 97. Death equals 97. Yonkers NY, like you would put it on an envelope, equals 97. DMX represented Yonkers, even though he was born in Baltimore. LL Cool J equals 79. Vegetable equals 79. The announcement that X was in a vegetable state came out 79 days after LL Cool J's birthday. Murder equals 79.
Yeah.
Earl Simmons is DMX's real name. Earl Simmons equals 48. Mary J. Blige equals 48. Full reduction. Evil equals 48. Illuminati 48. Homicide 48. The word overdose is 40 and 41. DMX is 41 and 40.
And slipping is 40, 41, and 94, like the day he died.
Yep. Just like the name of that sheriff equals 94.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, think about the name. Think about the name of the movies he's been in. Belly. Romeo Must Die. Exit Wounds. Cradle to the Grave. Never Die Alone. Fast and Fierce Death Race. That's one movie right there. Fast and Fierce, Death Race. The next movie is called Death Toll. The next movie is called Last Hour. The next movie is Lords of the Street. You know, he represented the street, but he was like kind of like a god in hip hop, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
Lords of the Streets. Lords of the Street.
The
And he
word
was in,
Lord the word Lord is 49 too. I was thinking about that because he's spiritual. Lord's 49.
because he's
Okay.
spiritual. Oh, wow. I need to add that too. Okay. And then the other movie he was in is called Chronicle of a Serial Killer. Another movie he was in is called Father of Lies.
That's the devil.
Another movie he was in is called The Ride or Die. And the last movie that I found is called The Bleeding.
Huh. Yeah.
These are the names of the movies he was in. He was born in Baltimore, Maryland, but he represented Yonkers, New York. Yonkers equals 82. He has an album called Year of the Dog Again equals 82. COVID-19 equals 82. Supposedly, I guess he got the shot. He was a soldier to make it to 50. Soldier equals 82.
Amazing.
I was gonna add some more here, but I don't want to talk about it because it has to do with what we're not allowed to talk about.
Sure.
But let's see.
Is there any information on what date he got it? Have you seen that anywhere?
Let me see.
But yeah, you have Marvin Hagler and Hank Aaron with a similar story that was in the mainstream. But what's crazy is if you talk about things in the mainstream and you just talk about right from the mainstream, you might get your video taken down a day later or that day or a week later for medical misinformation. It's like, what? I'm presenting what's in your mainstream news. I was like, medical misinformation, man. I'm just shedding my opinion on it with the numbers. Come on.
Yeah, it's horse shit, man. And I'm real disappointed because we put a lot of work together. And I can imagine like how you feel. I mean, we one time we did a live stream on King Von that was damn near 5 hours right after King Von died. It was so much killer information in that video. Right. And the Busta Rhymes one, the Public Enemy one, you know, a lot of videos just went straight down the toilet. It's a lot of work put in, and you know, it's not a good thing. Like, it's like, what's the problem? We're just teaching. I mean, we're just presenting information, right?
That's what we're doing. But they call it it's crazy. I mean, they take it down and they'll like literally send you a thing that said you did hate speech. It's like, wait a minute, where was the hate speech? Then they just respond, we've decided to uphold the strike for hate speech. It's like, okay, so you didn't answer where the hate speech was. You're just upholding it, even though it's complete BS. It's just like you hate the truth, and then we get strikes for it. So, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So it's just another dead rapper. Like I said, we get on average in 2020 a dead rapper every 44 hours. And remember, the word kill equals 44.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, again, I mean, if you're trying to wake up your friends and family, just show them. Darkman X is 49, so was Good Friday. He got sick on Good Friday, supposedly an overdose late that evening. Then he's dead on 4/9. And on Lil Nas X's birthday, who just had the 666 shoes, and DMX always rapping about selling soul, but then also show people the versus thing. And now Swizz Beatz is 49 and Snoop Dogg's 49, and it's his thing, and he faced Snoop Dogg. And then it was on a date with 49 numerology, and it was on 227, the 49th prime. And if they're still with you, you can explain to them that from the versus battle to the death was 262 days. And that's Faustian bargain, a deal with the devil. DMX says in his songs he did a deal with the devil. Snoop Dogg does, and murder was the case. I mean, what more do you need to know? So,
I mean, it's pretty blatant. It's pretty obvious. And notice we just talking about the same numbers. 49, 33, 91, 94 was big on this one, on this in this ritual. And I mean, it's DMX. He knew if you listen to his catalog, he knew that this was going to be his fate. But like you said before, he made it to be a lot older than a lot of other rappers. Like, think about it. He made it to be twice as old as Tupac.
Yep.
You know, and you know, I mean, 50 is really young still. But if I look at the list from 2020, most of the rappers that died were between 17 and 30.
Yeah.
Now I got a few rappers that died in their 40s, but is rare. Like, I got a few that died in their 30s, but the majority is between 17 and 17 and I would say 30. You know, so it's so nasty. Like,
it's just so constant, man, and it's just like it's so crystal clear what they're doing, and people still keep just thinking everything's a coincidence. You got people leaving comments like, "Yeah, man, but come on, he was a drug addict. He was going to die at some point." It's like, okay, you really think that's what it really got him here? It just looks like it was just.
oh, come on! I know people been smoking crack their whole life. I know 80-year. I know people in their 70s still smoking dope, in their 80s still smoking dope. I mean, like, it's so easy to say, oh, he overdosed on dope and he was smoking crack. I mean, come on, like, I mean, okay, maybe let's say that did happen, right? Let's say that actually happened. How do we know? You know, how would we ever get the proof? Like, we don't know how he died, or if he's even really dead.
And it's just all this stuff. It's like it's just too many. They always do something in a coincidence. Chadwick Boseman, who plays Jackie Robinson, dies on Jackie Robinson Day in the weird COVID year where the date got shifted. It happened to get shifted to the author of Black Panther's birthday, and then he dies on that day, and he's in Black Panther and Jackie Robinson. I mean, it's just like it's just coincidence after coincidence. They just mock us, and it's just like, come on, DMX on Lil Nas X. The symbolism is so obvious. Like you said, he's an alpha male that even barks, and now it's a gay dude giving lap dances to Satan and 666 pairs of shoes with human blood in the sole. I mean, it's just like, but again,
right, because it's almost like this is the new generation now, right? 20 years later, so it's like this is the X we want to give the new generation.
Right.
You know,
you went from Malcolm X to DMX to Lil Nas X. So it's something else, man. He got to live longer than Malcolm X. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. killed at age 39. So,
like, I'll give you one from last year. I'll give you one right here. FBP Spaz Out.
That's a rap name.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That must be how they get. That's how they like end up taking the name Pooh Shiesty. They're like, fuck it, man, Pooh Shiesty. Then if those are the choices.
So FBP Spaz Out equals 51 and 48. Remember how big 48 was with DMX, Earl Simmons 48, Mary J. Blige 48, Illuminati 48. So FBP Spaz Out equals 51, 48. His real name is Jeremiah. That also equals 48. Illuminati, like I said, equals 48. FBP Spaz Out was a 17-year-old rapper from Denver, Colorado. It's rare that I get a rapper from Denver or Colorado, period. So that's why I'm pointing this out.
I can't think of a rapper from Denver, Colorado. I don't know.
and it's rare that you get right. It's rare that I can't even name a rapper from Colorado. but it's rare that you get a dead rapper from Colorado. You know, Memphis, shit, it's probably like at least 40 rappers on this list dead from Memphis. At least maybe another 40 from Chicago, another 25 from LA. So that's normal right there, right? But for Denver is rare. But check this out, right? FBP Spaz Out was a 17-year-old rapper from Denver, Colorado. Shot 17, rap 17, kill 17. Colorado is one of the states that is always involved in propaganda, especially with death and shootings. Colorado 83, 38, and 43. Rapper 38, murder 83 and 38. 38 is probably the top number when it comes to the murder of rappers. Killing 43, RIP 43. FBP Spaz Out was shot and killed on 1/22/2020. Satanic equals 122. Pope Francis equals 122. So that's a rare one because that's from Denver. You rarely get anything as far as rappers coming from Denver. So
that could change though. It is the 38th state with a 38 gematria. It'd be funny if all of a sudden that became the rap scene. You'd be like, wow, this is some kind of fucking gematria ritual with 38 in Colorado. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's true though.
But somebody, I just looked over at the chat. Somebody said, "Did you know Prince has a new album that was just announced coming out?" And we're just about how Prince died on the Queen's birthday, and now her husband's dead, and DMX is dead. It's just like, and they're announcing at the same time Prince got a new album. It's just unbelievable.
Well, Zach, I feel like people don't give you enough credit, bro, on that. When you call the death of Prince, that to me is still. That's one of the top predictions. I mean, you have a lot of them, but I'm just saying that right there was that's like me predicting that's like us predicting the King Von death.
Yeah. It's because of this knowledge though, man. It's just like you pay attention to what they're doing, you catch the riddle. It's like, again, for people who weren't here, Vanity, Prince's girlfriend, died the day of the 58th Grammys in Purple Rain's 58, and that was Prince's girlfriend, and they coded the numbers in the story, and the exact numbers we talked about were the exact numbers he died by, because we said, man, they got this 67 and 118 coded, and that connects with Prince's name, and the fact that his birthday is June 7th, and those are numbers of death and blood sacrifice. Well, sure enough, Prince dies 67 days later in an elevator, which is 118. And we were just saying that, man, it looks like he's going to go soon in connection to Vanity. And these numbers 67, 118, again, dead a span of 67 days later in an elevator, which is 118. It's just, I mean, these people work by a code. We're talking about the same numbers again and again and again. And now it's just like, this stuff is just straight mockery, man. Just announcing this too. These people, man, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'll give you a rapper that they say DMX died of a heart attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a rapper that died of a heart attack in 2020. His name was Lionel D. Equals 71, 35, 118, and 37. Lionel D was a French rapper. On 2/26/2020, he died of a heart attack. Catholic 71 and 35, like Lionel D. Homicide 118, death 118, like Lionel D. Lionel D is 118. Lionel D is also 37. Tragedy is 37. He was 58 years old at the time of his death. This is probably the oldest rapper I got on this list. Secret Society equals 58. Freemasonry equals 58. He was a pioneer for French rap. So he was like the first French rapper ever. He was the first to make rap in French audible. He was the first to record an album on a major label in 1990. France equals 34, rapper 34, murder 34. So there's a rapper for the pioneer rap. So just to let you know, this is a worldwide agenda. The very first rapper to ever blow up out of France, the pioneer for French rap, Lionel D, on 2/20/2020, died of a heart attack.
Crazy, man. Just same old stuff, man. Same patterns worldwide. Jesuits, where are they from? They're from France. They're the ones behind all this. So
Oh, I gotta add that too. Yeah, that's a good thing to add right there.
yeah, don't forget Paris, France, 56, just like Society of Jesus, like Washington, D.C., where they operate out of. So
But it goes to show you that the 56 always been there, but we just kind of like really noticed it last year. Like,
yeah, it has. It's their signature.
so let me read the song of the week, and then we can wrap it up if you want.
Okay.
Hold on. One second, be right back.
Okay, again, for people who got here late, Jonathan's going to give us his top 500 song. We're counting down from 500 to 1, and we'll all be lucky to still be alive by the time we get to number 1. But
What'd you say about the time we get to number 1?
just I think we'll be lucky. We'll be lucky if we're still alive by the man. I mean, it's taken us like a month and a half just to get through the first 3 songs. So
yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, go ahead.
So here it is. This is song number 496. We're going backwards. And okay, so we're doing the top 500 songs of all time. We're going from the back. So number 500 was Fuck a War by Ghetto Boys. 499, I'm an African by Dead Prez. 498, Immortal Technique, Industrial Revolution. 497, Onyx, and it's called Last Days. So song 496, it is a DMX song.
Hold on. Before you do the song, again, with the whole Last Days thing, the Revelation thing, Revelation's 49, and Busta Rhymes' thing with the 22, Busta Rhymes' big 22 extinction level event, part 2, 22 years later. Again, Revelation's got 22 chapters. The 49 thing with this, I'm sure, factors into that. We're going to have to go back and look at how this syncs up with the Busta Rhymes album, Extinction Level Event, too. I'm sure all this stuff's connected.
Okay. So, all right. So, song 496. It's called Damien. The song is by DMX. It's on his first album. It's dark and hell is hot. The song was produced by Dame Grease.
You're sure you got 495 songs that are better than this? I don't know, man. This is like 96.
Yeah, this is a fire song though. This is probably my favorite This is my favorite DMX song.
Okay, man. I can't wait to hear the next 495 songs. This is gonna be good, man. You have to pray to God to live long enough to hear this whole list. But anyway.
So there's a movie that came out in 1978. It's called Damien Omen 2. So Damien was an American British supernatural horror film. And so Damien is the kid that stars in this movie, right? So he's like the devil, basically. So that's why he named the song Damien. So he's basically I'll read the lyric. Wait, hold on. Oh, you got it on your screen? Okay, hold on. Let me get it on mine. Make it easier. Okay, so keep in mind there are 3 parts to this song too. Okay, so this is the first part, Damien. And then the second part is called The Omen. Damien, The Omen Part 2 features Marilyn Manson. And then there's also Damien 3, Part 3. So this is the first Damien. So it's a killer beat. Beat comes in. This is how he starts it. Why is it every move I make turns out to be a bad one? Where's my guardian angel? Need one. Wish I had one. I'm right here, shorty. I'm going to hold you down.
And for people who haven't heard the song, he changes his voice for the Damien. So when you listen to the song, it's real obvious when Damien's speaking and when he's speaking. So it's like he's playing 2 voices in one song.
Yeah, which is really it was a really this is a really creative song. You know, because even though it's him rapping both of the voices, he sounds totally different on the other voice.
He uses snake in the grass voice for the other voice.
Exactly. So this is when he's saying, "Where's my guardian angel? I feel like I'm lost." And then he comes in, "I'm right here, shorty. I'm gonna hold you down. You trying to fuck all these bitches? I'm gonna show you how." And then wait, hold on.
I think that's further into the song when he says that.
Wait a minute. Oh, I think it gave me the clean version. I didn't really want that though. Right.
Oh yeah. That's exactly what it is. That's funny. That's funny. They're now editing the hip hop lyrics on Google's website when you search. It's really funny, man.
Yeah, this is bullshit. It's
That is so funny.
It's not. I can't read the shit right with it.
No, here, don't use the just like. It's too bad that Google wants everyone to just look at their answers first. Hold on, I'm gonna scroll down to the website that has. I'm going down to this genius.com.
I'm gonna just read it off yours. I'm gonna just read it off. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, here now I got
read, okay.
Up here.
Jesus Christ! Like they try to.
That's new. That's new. Before their hip hop lyrics weren't edited like that. That is funny.
Okay, so this is better because it's coming. Oh, because it's got the parentheses, so it shows when you see the parentheses, then you're on. Oh, I see. I'm getting a little delay, so I'm watching it on yours. All right. So anyway, I guess I'll just read the clean version.
No, I got the parentheses up.
Do you? Wait, hold on. Hold on.
I don't know what you're on right now. What screen you're on?
Wait a minute.
Well, if you just search Genius lyrics DMX Damien, you should pull up the same page, and it's got all the lyrics there.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm gonna show you how. Name's D, like you, but my friends call me Damien. I'm gonna put you hip to something about this game we in. So right there, this is one of the most important lines in the song. I'm gonna put you hip to something about this game we in. So I'm gonna let you know what this entertainment business is really all about. You and me could take it there, and you'll be the hottest nigga ever living. That's a given. And we can say DMX, he was.
Nobody ever had 5 number ones before in the world of hip hop. I mean,
he was the hottest ever. Yeah. Nobody. So he made a deal with the devil.
And he said this on his first album he ever put out, which went right to number 1 right away.
Right. Because he already had the buzz from 4321, and he already had the buzz from 24 Hours to Live, and he also was on. I think he was on a couple of songs on that Mace album.
The Lock song. I'm just thinking back. I remember now because he had that part in the music video. That music video is big. Money, power, respect. And he's right. He's on the fire escape, if I remember right, because that music video was everywhere.
So he already had a crazy buzz before the album dropped.
Yeah.
And like I said, the people they wanted to hear some street shit because Puffy and Mace, they made hip hop. They made it kind of commercial. So people were glad that DMX came and he brought it back to the streets because it kind of was missing. It kind of was missing a little bit since Tupac died 2 years prior. So he kind of brought it back in '98.
Well, I just gotta say, man, I mean, like DMX when he came out, just the things he was saying and the energy and the way he used his voice and the dog barking. I mean, that's a big part of his music, how he barks like a dog, but it's cool because it sounds like an actual dog and he makes it fit in with his whole character and everything. But he seemed like you're like, man, has this dude really been? I mean, I can't tell. It seems like he's just so authentic about it. It seems like he's actually most of the just like when I heard these rappers back then, even though they were famous, I'd be like, yeah, I don't know, man. He doesn't really. I just don't get that feeling from him. But with DMX, I was like, man, I wonder though, because I mean, he is an actor and stuff. I mean, he could just be really damn good actor. He could be the Denzel Washington of hip hop. So I don't know.
Good point. You know, um, so okay, so just to continue, um, so he's telling him, "I'm gonna put you hip to something. You're gonna be the hottest nigga ever living." Arguably, he is, and he died a legend. I mean, he's dying a legend. That's a given. So he's guaranteeing this success, right? You'll see.
You'll see, and then that's
and
straight #1 album. So
and we did see 74 million, over 74 million records later. That's what I've been wanting all my life. Thinking about my little man, so I call my wife. Well, your dad is about to make it happen. What you mean, my nigga? I'm about to make it rapping. Today I met this cat. He said his name is Damien. He thinks that we're a lot alike and wants to be my friend. You mean like Chucky? Haha, yeah, just like Chucky. Dada, looks like we're both lucky. And then the hook comes in, and he's basically letting you know, like, the devil comes in many disguises, and you're not gonna know when he's coming if you're living in the fog. The snake, the rat, the cat, the dog. How you gonna see him if you're living in the fog? That's the hook. So then he goes to verse 2.
Well, I think he's also like saying like those are different people qualities. Like, is it the snake? Is it the rat? Is it the cat? Is it the dog? But he can't even tell he's living in the fog, so he's not even sure who Damien is.
Good point. Yeah.
Is he his dog or is he the snake?
Or is he a rat?
Right, but it's like he is the snake, and that's why he talks like the serpent. Like biblical snake is Satan, and it's like that's the furthest thing apart. The snake, the rat, the cat, the dog. He's the dog. He's DMX. Where's his dog's at? And the snake is Damien. So, but he can't tell. He's living in the fog.
Right. Hey, yo, D. What up, D? Keep in mind, D is the fourth letter. So 44, 2 Ds, kind of like kill 44.
Yeah.
Use a smooth nigga. I seen you when nobody knew who pulled the trigger. Yeah, you know, it's always over dough. You sure? I could have swore it was over a hoe. Nah, that ain't my style. Nigga, you stay frontin'. But you're still my man. I ain't gonna say nothing. Got some weed? Go ahead, smoke it. Go ahead, drink it. Go ahead and fuck shorty. You know I could keep a secret. So he's, you know, it's like the devil pushing him to do negative things, right?
Yeah.
And I'm about to have you driving probably a Benz, but we gotta stay friends. Blood out, blood in. So he's letting you know right now, you're gonna be driving a Benz. You're gonna be the hottest nigga ever living. But it also comes with the price. And that's the price, blood out, blood in. Sounds good to me. Fuck it. What I got to lose? You know, this is one of the key lines in the song too. Because this is the attitude of a lot of people who sign these deals. You know, if you're in the hood and you ain't got shit and somebody's offering you a deal, it's just like how when we did the last live stream on Honeycomb Brazy.
Yeah. Dead people.
And he's in Mobile, ain't shit going on in Mobile. And Jay Prince comes around, somebody who's worth over $50 million, and tells you to sign a deal with Rap-A-Lot Records. You know, so it's easy to figure this out. So so DMX goes, sounds good to me. Fuck it. What I got to lose? Nothing I could think of. Any nigga would choose. He's letting you know anybody who, in other words, who would turn this down, right? But it's almost like DMX knew that X amount of years will be cut off his life. by him selling his soul. So any nigga would choose. Got me pushing the whips, taking trips across seas. Pocket state lace, nigga, I floss G's. For that nigga, I would bleed, give him my right hand. Now that I think about it, yo, that's my man.
And he's
So
talking about Damien.
yeah.
But then things started to change.
Right. Then here comes the hook, the snake, the cat, the dog. How you gonna see him if you're living in the fog? So here comes verse 3. You like how everything's going? You like what I gave you? You know, if you was going down, I'd be the one to save you. But really, it didn't seem that way as much as he's been to jail. Because DMX has been to jail a lot. Even when he was a superstar. And before that as well. But if he was going down, I'd be the one to save you. But yo, I need a favor. These cats across town hate me. Plus, their behavior hasn't been too good lately. What? Anything for you, dog. Where them niggas at? 38 and Broadway. Remember what I meant? What I said? 38 is the biggest number when it comes to dead rappers.
Yeah.
38 is huge. It's
See, that's
murder.
the thing that's like, okay, so Damien, who he sold his soul to, is also having some input on his lyrics. So.
Right. And why 38 out of all numbers?
Death for killing RIP, that 38.
And
then 4.
George Floyd was killed on 38th Street, right?
And that's going on right now too. DMX. And again, I was explaining this stuff a year ago, man. He died on the 93rd Meridian in Minneapolis, Minnesota, 93, just like Malcolm X is 93 and Martin Luther King Jr. 93. I mean, it's just funny how it all comes together. Yeah, that is funny, man.
Well, yeah, 38 is huge with rappers. So notice how the 38 is in his in his lyrics, like you said. All right. He's on 38th and Broadway. All right, let me get the gap. Run up on him strap. Bust off caps on faux niggas. Faux, keep in mind, 4 is a number associated with death.
Right.
Lay low about a month, then kill 2 more niggas. So now I'm ready to chill, but you still want me to kill.
4 and 2, how they did that. How they put that 4 and 2 in there.
Right. For 42.
Yeah.
That's the number stamped.
And he ODs on 4-2 for the story.
Look at what I did for you, dog. Come on, keep it real. Because I guess he still wants him to kill some more people, right? He's already killed 4 people. I mean, no, yeah, 4 people. He's already killed 4 people, so he's like, you still want me to kill? All right, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Who is it this time? Hey, yo, remember that kid Sean you used to be with in '89? Nah, that's my man. He doesn't want to do it because Sean is his homeboy.
You know, who are the Seans that I think of? I think of Sean Puffy Combs. I think of
Sean Carter.
I was just waiting for you to say it exactly. Jay-Z. So, and 97, man.
Sean Price.
Who's Sean Price? I forget who that is.
Sean Price from Boot Camp Click.
Okay.
He was probably the best rapper in Boot Camp Click. He's definitely gonna make the list, the top 500 list. We'll get to a Sean Price song one day.
Okay.
Yeah, but he was also murdered at 43 years old. Well, I mean, they say he died in his sleep.
Yeah.
And
natural causes.
So nah, that's my man. I thought I was your man. But yo, that's my nigga. Hey, yo, who's your biggest fan? Either do it or give me your right hand. That's what you said. I see now ain't nothing but trouble ahead. And that's how he ends the song. And then the chorus comes back in. But notice how he ends the song. He says, "I see now ain't nothing but trouble ahead." So, and then when you get to the next song, which is called "The Omen," which features Marilyn Manson, he explains the trouble there. And then finally, when you get to the third Damien, he explains even more trouble. So it's almost like he knew what he did wasn't all the way right, and he knew there wasn't nothing but trouble ahead. So
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah, I see it. The Omen, and so it starts with now that he's coming for his own child, and I mean, we just see. I mean, look at Bobby Brown; he could tell you all about it. So, yeah,
Yeah, that and remember, Marilyn Manson has that song called "Satan,"
yeah.
and in Satan, you see a dead Donald Trump.
Well, that song pays tribute to Gematria in a huge way.
And right.
For people who don't know that, Marilyn Manson has a song, "When You Say God, I Say Satan." You see how Satan is 10 with the alphabetic order and rules of numerology? Look how God is 10 with the reverse alphabetic order and rules of numerology. And the way he spells the song is say, S-A-Y, with the number 10. When you say God, I say Satan. And God and Satan are 10 in Gematria. I mean, I don't know who thinks this stuff's a coincidence, man. It's just so obvious. It's what it is.
Yeah. So, but it's going to show you how now he's trying to like get at his kids on the next song. So he already told you ain't nothing but trouble ahead.
And DMX has a bunch of kids too, doesn't he, man? So I mean, that group of kids, it could be all sorts of trouble for them.
Yeah, because
I don't even know if any of his kids have died. I think I heard he has. I don't know exactly. I know he has a lot of kids, DMX, but yeah,
I heard he's got 14, which
I just wonder if that's true.
I don't know, but DMX equals 14 and End equals 14, so
yeah.
I don't know, but or he might have 15. Somebody in the chat said 15.
That's the thing, man. If you sell your soul and get one of these record contracts, you should not have kids. It's not because then they got to
Because
live.
now they got to grow up without a daddy.
Well, it's not just that; they got to live up with the legacy, and they probably get murked one of these days, end up in a headline. So,
right. Yep. It's just
is there a Damien 2 or is there it just goes to Damien 3?
No, this is which one is this? The Omen?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the Damien 3 is on the album The Great Depression, but I'm gonna verify that right now. The Great Depression. Well, on this album called The Great Depression, he has a song called Number 11. No, it's not on The Great Depression though. Wait. Hold on. It might be on this one. Okay. Or it might be on this one. Wait. There's a Damien 3 in here somewhere.
I found it. Yeah,
You found it?
Yeah. Yeah, Damien 3 on the Great Depression. That is correct.
It was on the Great Depression? Okay. But notice on the Damien 3 now he's like, "Hey yo, D, what the fuck? You forgot about me? You've been eating real good lately."
Yeah, indeed. New perspective. Well, what album number was this?
Let me see. This was probably the Great Depression was the 1, 2, 3, 4. The Great Depression was the fourth one.
Oh, so it was one of the number one albums too.
Yep, because he had that song called "Who We Be," which was a major smash
off that album. Yeah.
And he had another song called "We Right Here," which was another major smash.
Yeah.
And then he has a song called "Number 11" on this same album.
Oh, does he? Okay, it happened at the 11th hour. That's the thing too. At the 11th hour, DMX the overdose on 4-2, man.
Right, song number 11, number 11, and then it's interesting. He has a song with Faith Evans. and he got a lot of big time features. And then so the fifth album was called the Grand Champ, and the big song on that one was Where the Hood At, Get It on the Floor, which Swizz Beatz produced. That Get It on the Floor was a big radio hit.
Okay.
And then he has a song called Shot Down on the same album featuring 50 Cent, Sheik Luch, one of the members of the Locks. And on the same album, he has a song called Thank You featuring Patti LaBelle. Also has a song with Cameron on this album. So he always had huge features. And Grand Champ equals 49 to go along with all those other 49s we talked about.
Yeah, it's just over the top with the 49 and Lil Nas X's birthday. It just shows you, man. I mean, for these kind of rituals to work out this way, these guys are like chosen chess pieces for the chessboard that the game these people are playing, man. These guys make the game of life chess, and they like choose their pawns accordingly. They're like, this one will be right to sell his soul to us. He'll fit in perfectly.
But think about how slick they do it. Like his biggest song, right, is Rough Riders Anthem, and that equals 201. It's almost like a way to say the Jesuit anthem. You know what I mean? Like but most people are not going to notice that. But I don't think that's a coincidence. Rough Riders Anthem equals 201.
Speaking, I just went as you said that I'm opening up the old post on Busta Rhymes' extinction level event. It's called the Wrath of God, which is 201 as well, man. Just like the Holy Bible's 201. It's just
Oh yeah, that's right. That is 201.
Yeah, man. There's so much with this thing. Man. Yeah, we got to go back and think about all this. That album came out on October 30th, and even got Chris Rock doing it. It's like, wait a minute, Chris Rock was the bigger celebrity than Busta Rhymes in that ad. He's like acting like Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, and then he's kissing his album on the whole. He's kissing his ass on the whole album.
Yeah, it's like, what in the fuck?
Yeah,
like what's really going on in the world of celebrity?
Which is weird. Oh, so I'm gonna see how many. So the album came out October 30th, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna measure October 30th. Until today or yesterday now.
Here I see it already, man. So from the day that he had the overdose was 154 days. From the release of that album to the overdose, 154 days. And
oh wow.
Oh yeah, Ritual Sacrifices 154. It's all got to be connected because Revelation's 49 and extinction level events about revelation and biblical prophecy and all that. And again, Revelation's 22 chapters. And again, the thing started with LL Cool J too, 79 days after his birthday, the 22nd prime. So I know all this shit fits together, man. It's like they got this puzzle out there. And again, Busta Rhymes is 43 as well. 4-3. Just like, remember, Busta Rhymes' name is the exact same as Jesus Christ in 3 out of 4.
Right.
About the return of Jesus, then DMX, the news on 4-3. And again, they say that Jesus was crucified on April 3rd, the 93rd day of the year. So.
And Jesus is 61, right?
Say that again?
Jesus is 61, right?
Correct. And
okay. And that album, the Busta Rhymes album, came out on a date with 61 numerology.
I think Kanye West is 43 right now. Yeah, he is, man. He could turn 44 on June 8th if he makes it.
And that Busta Rhymes album also came out on a date numerology with 81 and 45, like Ritual. But from the day that Busta Rhymes album came out until the day DMX died is 6 months and 21 days, or 204 days.
Huh. Okay.
But I think it's interesting how DMX did all this time in Arizona at all places, and with how it all relates with the 91s with the Public Enemy.
Right. It's all part of a big puzzle, man. It's like it's that scene with the guy with the red thread connecting all the dots. That they're doing it this. And remember when they show you that red string with the conspiracy stuff on TV, that's the Kabbalah through the invisible red thread. But again, this whole
Right.
thing, letters and numbers, comes from Kabbalah. All this stuff's related. So, yeah.
But one thing I learned today is that because he always represented Yonkers, New York, but I did not realize until today that he was born in Baltimore, Maryland.
He has those lyrics about slow like Baltimore. So, yeah.
Huh.
Look at the numbers on Yonkers.
Yeah, Yonkers is
He's got the 37 in it. Just reminds me of Swizz Beatz, 157 days from his birthday, the 37th prime, but that could be a coincidence.
but if you put Yonkers NY, it's 97.
Okay, like the year all that stuff happened.
And we were talking about this off air about
too. It's 4-3 that way. It's 43 and 146 like Jesus Christ, 47 like Christian, 97 like the year he did those songs. There's some Yonkers, New York is 74, just like Jesus Christ and Jesus.
And just like they say, he sold 74 million records.
And rappers 74. They're probably trying to figure out what was absolutely the best ritual. Should they kill him on 7-4? Should they kill him on 4-8? Earl Simmons? They're like, nah, let's go with the verses 94. It's too perfect. Lil Nas X's birthday.
Right. Kill off the good X and give you the whack X.
We were just talking about how we'll be reading about Lil Nas X's death probably not far in the future, and then you just see DMX dead on his birthday. It's just like, man, it is so.
And I didn't realize X Tentacion equals 56.
Yeah, they did all sorts of rituals with that dude. Yeah, that was a big Jesus ritual as well.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh, somebody in the chat said DMX was not born in Baltimore. That's what it says here. I don't know. That's what it says on this Wikipedia thing. Let me see. Somebody saying he's born in Mount Vernon.
I see the comment. It says my aunt delivered him.
Oh, it does say Mount Vernon here, but somewhere else I saw Baltimore. That's crazy. There was.
Whatever I was looking through, I saw somewhere it was posted he was born in Baltimore too. You're not the only one who saw that. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but it does say Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon, New York. Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, that's the thing about the internet, man. Some places just like switching up their information, recreating history in real time. Yeah, so you got to double check everything. But
oh, Mount Vernon equals 54 and 126, like the day Kobe died.
Mount Vernon's 171 as well. He died 171 days after Snoop Dogg's birthday. 171 is the 18th triangular number. IHS, the Jesuit acronym's 18, and Jesuit orders 54. They like that 126 like we talked about too, but remember Swizz Beatz turned 18 the day Tupac died. He was a big Jesuit ritual himself. But yeah, all those numbers are Jesuit right there in Mount Vernon. I have to look more into that town. Vernon got that 66 like number of the beast. Oh god, it's got that 93 too, man. Mount Vernon, New York, 93. What day we read about it? 93rd day of the year, April 3rd.
Huh. The 93rd day of the year, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a coincidence. So.
Wow. Huh. Now, yeah, and he was to me, he was a pretty good actor too. You ever seen any of his movies?
You're talking about DMX?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Romeo Must Die because I used to have a crush on Aaliyah.
Jeff
Young tells me that Aaliyah was a dude. It's like if that's true, I didn't want to think man.
But hey, Jeff Young was in the music industry, so he might have some inside information.
Yeah, I thought Aaliyah was cute and pretty, man. So I don't want to know that Aaliyah was a dude.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I used to like her too. I mean,
I don't. I mean, all respect to Jeff. I can't just take one man's word for gospel. But I mean, all the stuff
true.
going on in this world. I mean, it could be true. It'd be like, God damn, man, they have me fooled with the gender bender. Come on, man. So,
Yeah, yeah, they brought
R. Kelly would know, I guess. Somebody talked to R. Kelly. So
oh, but think about this. Um okay, so Swizz and DMX grew up together. Swizz was a part of the Rough Riders. He produced some of his biggest hits, right? And and Timberland produced some of the biggest hits for Aaliyah. And Swizz and Timberland are the ones who created verses.
oh, really?
Yeah, and Timberland was a major part of Aaliyah's career.
Yeah. 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 Indeed. It's been a long time. I can think about it now. Yeah. So amazing.
Remember last year? uh, Okay, look on it's besides what I'm about to tell you, it's some big it's some stuff that happened on May 23rd of 2020. But on May 23rd, 2020, there was a Portuguese rapper, right? And he was followed, tortured, and killed. Now I kind of found out about this, just found out about this recently, so I don't have all the numbers. But his name was Mota Jr., and he was a popular Portuguese rapper. On 3/15/2020, a date with 38 numerology, he was reported missing. And then the news came out on May 23rd, 2020, that that they found two out of the three men suspected of torturing this Portuguese rapper to death. So this is like probably like the most vicious murder out of all rappers from last year. Um, because of the way he went out. Um, so they said that he used to flaunt a lot of money and fancy cars, and he was. Let me hold on. Yeah, he was followed. He was abducted. And okay, he vanished March 15th after being abducted outside his home in Sintra near Lisbon.
The 74th day of the year, rapper 74, the Ides of March, known for killing 15/3, like Jesuit Order 153. So the Ides of March, this happens.
Yeah. His decomposed body, which had been partly eaten by wild boars, was found on Monday, May 23rd, 2020, in the woods near Sesimbra, 30 miles away, by a man who was out walking his dog. Two of the suspects reportedly fled to the UK the week after the crime.
Huh.
This was thought to have been planned by an acquaintance of Motor Jr., who was known to police. He had before he went missing, he had an Instagram post on a bed surrounded by 50 euro notes with a wad of 500 and 200 euros notes in his hand. And then one of the pictures that they have of him is him sitting on a car, and all you see is the number 38.
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy that people think all this stuff's a coincidence too, man.
Yeah, this was like probably the most vicious murder, because they say they tortured him because they were trying to find out where the money was.
Uh-huh.
So I guess they tortured him to death.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not the way to die. Terrible.
Yeah.
Well, Jonathan, we better wrap it up. I hear Sweet Lady. She's like walking extra hard. I know her
Okay.
full routine. Things started to get too late, so that was a big signal the way she's stomping around right now. So
Okay. All right. All right. I think it was a good one.
yeah, it was a good stream, man. And was there anything else you need to say before we sign off?
No, that's about it. We'll reconvene the next time.
All right, I appreciate it. Great stream, man. Good information.
All right. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. See you.
Peace.